Imadekwana vathu vashu. Dumelang, sanibonani, avuxeni, molweni. Habari. Greetings to the African family. If you were speaking to Botswana, you would say Dumelang. But if you moved to the side, to my side there in Limpopo, going towards, then like you get to Polokwane there, you're speaking to Bapedi, they will say, "Ay, Thobela." Thobela. Avuxeni baka hina minjhani. Greeting my people there. Greetings, African family. It's your brother. I'm back again to once again put some fire under you. I want to put some fire under you, and it's because I love this continent so much, and I love my people. I want to see better. I want to see better for my people. I want to see better for all of us. So let's get into it. What are we talking about today? Today, I just want to wrap up where we left off, discussing the red pill. But then I would, in juxtaposition to that, I want to show you the other side of that. I want to share with you the other side of that. I want to share with you what I would like to refer to as the gospel of Pan-Afrikanism. This is Marcus Garvey's famous speech. Look for me in the whirlwind. I want to share a little bit of that because I just think that there are some nuggets there. I think that speech was in the 1900s somewhere, early 1920s, I think, around the 1920s. And as I was reading it again, because like I kept telling you, I grew up in the Pan-African tradition. So I read all this literature, but I had not read that in a while, but when I went back and read it again, I was like, how relevant is this to where we are today? And what we are experiencing geopolitically as Africans. It was interesting as I am greeting different African languages. I was asking myself, how come I don't know how to greet in the Khoi and Nama languages? Because those are our people. You understand? Make no mistake about it. Let me just stop sharing that for now. I will share it in a moment when it's time. But those are our people. The Khoi and Nama people, those are our people. So I was just asking myself, why don't I know these languages? But I mean, if I even think about it, I don't think I have spent a lot of time with Khoi and Nama people. The only time I've seen them is at events, like language events. Since I'm a linguist, sometimes I attend these language events and we'll interact. I will see them there, but not enough time to actually pick up the languages. But I mean, I don't even want to get into that tragedy of language policy in South Africa. My postgrad thesis was on language policy in South Africa and reflecting on it in the context of the decolonial discourse. And yeah, as far as it goes in terms of language promotion and language development, the African languages, we are found wanting. We are found wanting, and this is why I am working, to see what I can do, change that situation as a linguist, because I think we've all sort of realized that, uh, in this continent, if you don't do anything yourself, it's just never going to happen. You are going to be talking about what should be done. Oh, why can't our leaders do this? They are not going to do it. Nothing is going to be done. So pretty much we have to do everything ourselves, guys. In terms of our own development, we are going to have to do it ourselves. So if we think it's important that our languages are developed, we are going to have to do it. If we think it's important our education improves, we're going to have to build the schools and teach our children. There's just no other way to do anything except we do it ourselves. Let me not dwell too much on that. There's just a lot I want to cover. I also wanted to just take a moment to briefly highlight why do we have such an obsession with the politics of Africa, the history of Africa, Pan-Afrikanism, its development, the Haitian Revolution, which sent shockwaves throughout the world, saying to the African world, it is time. And today it's similar with all the different events taking place on the African continent, power shifts in different regions, shockwaves, it's time. And hopefully this time around we'll get it right. But why do we do this? Why do we keep insisting? It's simple. And you will see when I read Garvey's speech where he's talking about, hey, it's nuggets that he drops in that speech. Let me not spoil it. I won't do any spoiler. But why do we do this? Why do I do this? Well, we are unsettled because I think a lot of us can see just how little control we have in our own land and how it just absolutely makes no sense that in the midst of abundance that we could have so much poverty. It makes no sense. Have some of the most fertile land in the world but be hungry, starving. Makes no sense. So why do I do this? I want self-determination for African people. And this is what I've been saying. You have to determine yourself. You have to define yourself. This is why I've been speaking about feminism and the red pill. Why do we have to use other people's ideas and philosophies to define ourselves and our lives and how we're going to make decisions? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So that is it. Number one, self-determination. Because without that, we won't win. We are not going to get anywhere. We are not going to get anything without self-determination. Because self-determination speaks to assertiveness, asserting yourself, and occupying space like you deserve to occupy it. Not acting like you are apologizing just for existing, just for being here. The African in the corner there, No, nigga. Nah. We are here and we are here to occupy space and with confidence too. We don't owe anyone an apology for existing. In fact, all the people here in Africa who are non-Africans must start thanking us for letting them stay. That's the way I feel about it. So no apology. Self-determination, self-reliance, power, dominance of our territory. So that, I mean, yo, I, I want to ask something. I want to ask something. And I want to ask it a certain way. And I hope no one is going to take it for what it's not. Sisters, let me talk to the brothers. So, African men, how does it feel to know that other men from other lands are sitting where they are sitting, and when they think about, I wonder where I can go to go get what I want easily, hmm? to get what I want easily with the least resistance. How do you feel knowing that when the Chinese, the Japanese, the Americans, the English, the Portuguese, the Spanish, the French, all of these guys, when they think about, I need a little something over here, where can I get it? How does it feel to know that they think about your backyard? That the the soft target is Africa. No, don't worry, Jean-Pierre. Just go over to Africa. You can go over there, you can get there, you can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you want over there. Free for all. How does it feel, African? And not just African men. And I'm not apologizing for asking this question to us as African men. Because that's just the way I see it. In order to plunder, you have to bind the strong men. And oh boy, have we been bound. Conquered, defeated. And I hope none of you are satisfied with that state of affairs of being conquered and defeated. Because I'm not okay with it. And that is why we keep causing these problems. You know, that's why we keep causing these problems. There are winds of change on the African continent, and just from observing some of the things that have been happening in places like Burkina Faso, for example, Niger, Mali, Senegal, our brother has emerged on that side as well. Our brother Faye and Sonko. Shout out to those brothers, and I pray for their strength and in doing what is right for our people. So shout out, Brother Faye and Sonko, President Faye and Prime Minister Sonko there in Senegal. Shout out, do the right thing, brothers, for our people. Brother Ibrahim Traore, shout out. In Burkina Faso, the spirit of Thomas Sankara has returned. Sankara, the return, Baba. But seriously, y'all, I think killing Africans who are fighting this fight is not going to help. You can kill Lumumba. Oh, yeah, Lumumba. Biko. By the way, shout out Sankara, Brother UEP, Black Panther, original Black Panther, yo. Look, man, you can kill them, but the problem is that our spirits are not settled, and neither are the spirits of our ancestors, because justice has not been done. We have just covered things on the surface. It's never going to settle. You're always going to have uprisings until justice has been established on this continent. If you think, for example, you're going to kill Ibrahim Traore and then that's the end of it, no. So here's my advice to Western powers: let the man work. If anything, come to him and grovel before him to say, please, can we work with you? Can we cooperate with you? Because aggression against the man is not going to help. A few generations down the line, another one going to come. You know, I mean, if you think I talk too much and maybe I need to be silenced, you could silence me. Another one is coming. How many vehicles have come back? How many Pedros Lumumbas? How many Sangaras have returned? You know, you are fighting a losing battle, man. So that's my advice to Western powers. Just stop taking out these leaders, man, because they will just come back. Because here we are again. And when I read Marcus Garvey's speech, you are going to see where he says, bruh, even if I die, I will come in an earthquake or a whirlwind, and I'm gonna bring with me millions of African men and women to slay the enemies of African liberation and African restoration. So, look, man, if you want to keep wheels spinning like this, sure, but Euro America has been weakened right now. And so many uprisings, you know, and it is indeed a terrible time in the world, you know, and in history, because there's wars, rumors of wars, and so on. But what I'm saying is, we are gonna keep coming back until we get everything that is ours. You know, that statement, we are coming for everything, is true. It really is true. Like, that's our line. We are coming for everything that is ours. It will be slow, but it is inevitable. We are coming for everything that is ours. So, if I were the Euro-American bloc, I would be thinking about how to give other people back their things and leaving them alone. Because I'm telling you, all that blood of our ancestors that has soiled the that has stained the African soil will be answered for, one way or the other. It's natural law, guys. There's no blood that goes unanswered for. So you can only imagine the millions and billions of our people that have been killed and destroyed over hundreds and thousands of years even. So accountability, it's a universal principle. Someone will pay. And even if you say you don't think we deserve reparations like everyone else who was given, even if you think we don't deserve it, one way or the other, the price will be paid. And unfortunately, it might be your children who have to pay it. But someone must balance that ledger. You understand? That ledger has to be balanced by somebody. So I also want to send a shout out to my brother King said so, brother Kagiso Hlongwane. King said so. Um, one of the biggest Pan-African podcasts on YouTube. Shout out, my brother. I'm thinking about all the things we were talking about yesterday. You know, possibly when I post this video, it will have been the day before yesterday. But yeah, that conversation we had about your school, Paseta, the Pan African School of Economics, Technology, and Agriculture. Yeah, you certainly can count on my support there. You know, I'm in. I have my own vision with Ubuntu Awakening, you know, the Ubuntu Nation, but I'm not going to share that now. I think that conversation is reserved, you know, for the family. You understand? I don't want anyone else to hear this. When we are sitting by ourselves, we will talk about this one. Because, you know, when you really want to contest power seriously, you know, and you want to dominate, you don't go around saying everything everywhere, you know. But yeah, I'm very happy to see what is happening at this time where we are creating these networks and we are looking to collaborate on projects. I was actually happy to hear, King, that you know my brother, Dumisani Mlambo, Dr. Du. One of the best natural health practitioners on the African continent. Shout out to Brother Dumisani Mlambo. Dr. Du, um, one of the best indeed. So yeah, these are some of the issues that we are going to be looking at. I will try not to make this video too long. I know I make a habit of saying this, but anyway, I am going to try my best. So let us get back to our article. Let's get back to our article. Oh, so hot here. The hot season, yo. I'm sweating. All right. Let's get into finishing up the red pill business. I think in the last video I had done quite a bit of work in terms of trying to give a background of what this whole thing is about, because that's what's important here. It was not my intention to assess the merits of the idea as yet. I was just telling you what it's about. So now I'm going to conclude here, and I want to highlight something before I go over to Garvey. Last time we ended up talking about these terms, some of the terms that they have in the red pill, the glossary of terms, which I said, of course, as a linguist, is absolutely fascinating. So let me just read some of the highlights that I have. I did say I will make this article available. I will put it up. I'll put it up in this video. I didn't put it up in the last one. I'll put both this one and Garvey's speech for your perusal at your own time. So yeah, you know, I am going to continue insisting on a sort of what do a culture of scholarship, you know, where we read, we critically analyze, we think about things, you know, that kind of thing. And that's why we are going to be somewhat a bit different. You know, I'm not going to be dealing with this thing of just making wild statements out of nowhere. So here is a statement that I found interesting. They say red pillars are responding to a much more novel and contemporary reality, that such biological imperative. Some of this doesn't make sense because I feel like this article was not proofread and edited well. Again, as a linguist, this is part of the work I do. This, because I don't know what they're saying here. Red pillars are responsible for much more novel and contemporary reality, that such biological imperatives are doing what? I'm not sure. But I understand what they're saying. They're basically talking about biological imperatives or your instincts biologically that you naturally gravitate to. That's what I assume they're saying. They are responding to women having financial and sexual power, okay, over their own lives and bodies, and they haven't dealt with it yet. The term manosphere is really a misnomer. Not quite a manosphere would be better. Shots fired. So he's busy firing some shots there. And as I said in the previous video, obviously this is a diss, kind of a diss for the red pill, but I chose this article because it does provide some information. So here's an interesting thing that he says. What the boys of the red pill, okay, so I thought about this and like, yeah, man, this article, condescension. Talk down, straight talk down. This is what we call talk down. Talk down, condescension. I mean, imagine the boys of the red pill. I mean, this guy is saying, you know, I'm a man and I'm talking to boys right now. This guy is savage. So, what the boys of the red pill need, in all honesty, is a massive dose of romantic poetry. They need a dedicated course of treatment in the novels of Jane Austen and Dostoevsky, combined with significant therapy in negative capability. Hey, I know. Enough said. Nah? But the interesting thing is, he's obviously talking about European literature, which is obviously steeped in European philosophy and thought and thinking, which is fine. If he's saying he feels the remedy for the red pill. Okay, he feels first of all the red pill is a problem and it needs to be remedied, and he says the remedy is in Western literature. That might make sense for him. For me, this has nothing to do with me. I just want to say, ndijena guy na singena pia la mina ngena pia Jane Austen, Dostoevsky, and look, man, let me make one thing clear. I am no purist. I don't believe in purism. I believe in applying the best idea for the best outcome. But at the same time, I think we should look inward first for solutions. And we should trust ourselves and our solutions. And if we find that our solutions are not the best, then maybe we might explore elsewhere. But come on, guys. Most often than not, our solutions are the best for us. So no, if red pill was a problem for us, certainly Jane Austen and Dostoevsky would not be the remedy. They need to learn that love is awful. I mean, first of all, when you're saying love, what do you mean? Is love that tingly feeling you feel when you meet a woman who you're attracted to, someone who you fancy? Love is that? Do you understand? Okay, so maybe you said romantic poetry, so maybe that's what he's talking about. Romanticism, very much a European concept, that this is the defining factor of what builds relationships. Ridiculous, Obviously, on our side, it's kind of different, going to our cultural matrix, this idea of building relationships and communities and so on. Entirely different ball game. So, yeah, he says love is awful. So I guess he's referring to the romanticism stuff, Hollywood and all of that. I don't see it, but it's fine. They need to learn that love is awful in both the ancient and modern sense of the word. Now, look at this. They need to learn that love is awful in both the ancient and the modern senses of the world. No proofreading, man. No proofreading, no editing. That love is infinitely more powerful and real than any marketplace, sexual or otherwise. Right. So that thing he is referring to love. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what he's talking about, because that's just a word, and it means a million things to a million people. So I don't know what he's talking about here, but I think it's the romantic thing that relates to what he said before, romantic poetry, whatever. They need to read Freud. So it's Jane Austen, Freud, Dostoevsky, The Remedy. I mean, I'm just saying, you gotta look at this. I don't blame this guy for talking like this. He's a European man. He's talking about himself, his cultural and all of that. I don't blame him. My only problem is if this was an African man talking. If he was talking, if an African man was talking like this, that no, our remedy needs to be Freud and Jane Austen, then I would be like, Folks, before I forget, by the way, recommended reading, Things Fall Apart, Chinua Achebe. You'll thank me. All right.